I believe most of you are new to this place. I think it's your first time to visit this place. So I'm going to give you a brief introduction of what ATC is. ATC, which is research and development, technology profiling and validation, promotion of water, sanitation and environment technologies. Yeah, still on my left, that's it. I know you all know applied research. Applied research is that which solves practical problems. We go to different communities, we identify problems, and we look for solutions in terms of technology. Capacity building, that is done in different technologies and in form of trainings. We get people from different communities. Sometimes there are students like you, like internees, they come, they do train under this mandate. They are written in that board. Then our thematic areas being worked on, there are very many, but the first one is water supply. And under water supply, we have large-scale water supply systems. The large water supply systems, some of them they are solar powered. We differentiate them depending on the type of power we use to run the system. So when we say solar powered, that means there are solar panels that are attached that run the entire system for the water to come out maybe from a tank, from the pipes. Then gravity flow. For the gravity flow, what we do is we create a slope. Maybe the tank is placed at a higher gradient, so that the person receiving the water, the point of use is down slope, so that you don't require any kind of energy to draw the water. Then we have grid powered. This is electricity, the hydropower electricity that everyone knows. Then wind powered. For the wind powered, that means the system has a windmill attached to it that runs it. I think we have plastic tanks. Everyone knows these, and they are all around our place. So you'll be seeing them as you move around, as you go around. We have stainless steel tanks. These are used after as treatment units. They are smart tanks. They're going to be taking you through their mode of operation, how they operate to clean the water. Then we have like diameter stone masonry tanks. For that one, we don't have it here, but we did a profile of it, and it's saying the different communities that we visited. Fellow cement tanks. For these ones, what we do is we get a metal mesh. Then after mixing our cement with water, it's just casted into that wire mesh until it dries up to form a solid pattern. Then corrugated iron tanks. These are all surrounded. You'll be seeing them. We have one on the other side. Then we have this. These are boreholes. Most of you know the boreholes, and the way we differentiate them depends on the wind used. In the same way, we can have solar powered. We have motorized. For this one, the motor is attached, and it's the one that is used to draw the water. Then manual, whereby a human being holds the handle of the borehole and trace. Well, most of you are going to see this, but they are there in the communities. We've established some. And then we have protected springs. Then water lifting devices. We have a rope pump. For the rope pump, it's traditional technology. It's through a pipe that is used to draw water. Then we have a mass pump. We have one there. It's going to be you're going to see it. It's a PVC piston-like pump. Then solar and electric pumps. You have fast flash devices. We have one attached to that water harvesting equipment. On that edge, you're going to be seeing it. Then mineral balancing the ground. Most of these water quality enhancement approaches, they're not visible. The devices may not be visible. For example, that may be down. Then we have automated gravity filtering system, and this is usually used for the large-scale water supply systems. Then rapid sun filter for the still for the large-scale water supply systems, and ion removal plants. This is used for both large and small application. Second thematic area is sanitation. And what we do for the technologies that are under sanitation, they should be ecologically viable. In that they can help a normal, I won't call them normal, but they can help us as human beings to upgrade from what we call, to be able to step up our sanitation ladder. The sanitation ladder is this one. It starts from open defecation, which is not acceptable, but it's still practiced in some parts of the country. So, with the sanitation technologies that we produce, they help you at least improve, go to the improved latrine, then flush toilet. Okay? But as you've noticed, as you go up the ladder, the cost increases, but still the health benefits also what? Increase. Then we have, as I've said, that it helps to climb up the sanitation ladder, just to get better or improved toilets. This is a tiger toilet. What we call a tiger toilet, it's built in such a way. It's a flash power ecosan. What we call ecosan is that the urine goes in a different chamber, and also what we call the also goes in another chamber. But for this one, it comes with a unique bit of it, that it has tiger worms that feed on that fecal matter, decompose it. They feed on it and they produce what we call composite, which is very, very good to be used as fertilizers. So we've established a number of them around Mukono district in different villages. You may not be able to see them because we don't have one on ground, but at least we have the ecosan, so you'll be able to see the ecosan. We have the urine diversion toilet, UDDT. This one is has a demarcated chamber, and we have actually it's mode of operation. It's more like that ecosan, so you'll be seeing it. It has when it is the fecal matter is on site, and then separation of urine and feces. Its mode of operation is that of the ecosan, and it's relatively expensive and it's constant sanitization. Works well for small number of users. So if the population is big in an area, it's not recommended. Thematic area, we have environment and climate change, and under this we create alternative energy technologies and energy saving technologies. So that's the use of solar. For solar, it's renewable energy. So making of briquettes, that's from organic waste, bamboo, plastic waste. Then fuel recovery from plastic waste, that is usually high density. Then recycling and solid waste management projects. For recycling and solid waste management projects, we have what you're going to see outside there, and I'm going to be explaining it when I go to the on-site technology. And we have also what is behind there, the paper making, and we also teach and also make pads from banana waste. Another thematic area is mainstreaming access. Under this measure, we do accessibility audits. We make sure that the technologies that we produce, they can be used by anybody. Let them be that are having physical disabilities. As you will see, one of our water tanks, they have different provisions that if you can't tap, at least you can step. If you can't step, at least you can tap. Then under mainstream access, we develop a technical guide because we want to leave that information behind so that anyone who is willing to take the technology on takes it on. We develop a catalog for inclusive wash facilities. Then we document. Actually, this is all about documenting. We do documentation a lot because it helps us to improve our technology, to upgrade it, and actually scale it up. Then prototype and demonstration. These are usually done first they are done in small communities, then they are scaled up to that scale for a bigger uptake. First, when we come up with an idea of a technology, what we first do is profiling the technology, and it's called in-house profiling. We come here on ground. You will see there is some new technology which is the DSFL. We come here on ground, we establish it, just a small unit. After profiling it, we get the outcome, take it to the labs, make analysis, and get the results, and compare it, assess it to the standards. Is it really good enough to be taken to the community? If the results are up to the standards, we take them to the community and measure what we call uptake. We do what we call uptake study. Are people accepting the technology? Are they willing to take it on? You know, this thing, you can develop your technology. It's good. You feel like it's beneficial to the community, but you find that when you introduce it to the community, people ignore it. Maybe the cost attached to it, maybe it's not user friendly. But you assess everything under this uptake study before you take it to a bigger community. You start with a smaller community. You assess, are they accepting it? Then scaling up for the technology. Yeah, it's the results that you get from the uptake study that gives you the go on. Should you scale it up, or you should just improve something before you scale it up? Then we also do profiling technologies brought by the different stakeholders and certify them. For example, Washmo, that washing facility, we find that somebody else designed it, but they bring it here. What we do is we do our own profiling, and if we feel like the technology is fit enough, we certify them, we give them the certificate. This is the on-site technology. What we have, actually, we have most of them, but right now what we have solid waste management projects. And from plastic wastes, we have products that are being produced. For example, pavers. Our pavers are being produced from PET. These small water bottles or bottles. You know, if you go there trading, you've noticed that recently we've been having a challenge of plastic pollution.
Basically doing what we call rainwater harvesting, like these gutters. It is another way of trying to get water. You know, water crisis is still serious on earth here. So we're trying to catch every drop that comes. And these are the different tools, I would say, or devices that we can use to collect that water. Here we have a strainer. This one also does the filtration of the dirt. You know, when it takes long, there can be dirt up there. So you do the filtration using that. And then this other one also does the what? The filtration using a mechanism of centrifugal force. Where when the water comes, it creates a rotation as it passes through the impellers inside there. And that it is timed or programmed in such a way that the first 15 minutes of the raindrops in a fresh day, it discharges the water out. And then after that, it lets the water into your main reservoir. Yes, that one. We could. That one does that. It also does filtration, but it has a strainer inside.
Well, if he's going to take you around the center, you will see each different rainwater harvesting tank you see will have something unique with it. So normally we are trying to solve problems in rainwater harvesting. One problem is the capacity of the tanks. The other problem is the quality of water. Remember, rainwater is clean water from the earth, but when it falls on our surface or the catchment area, it gets contaminated. And then some of them you find they don't have any mechanism to enhance the quality. So by the time the 2 seasons end, you have a garden in your tank. Everything called silt is just in there. So we have come up with different technologies or different devices that can be used to enhance the quality of rainwater. And this is what we call the fast flush device. So when we call about that rain filter is in the category of the fast flush device, that it flushes off the first foul water before the clean water goes into the tank to minimize on the silt. But also the trap helps you to trap the crawling animals, to trap the leaves and some solids that would have ended up in your tank.
People with challenges, say pregnant, old, weak babies, and they want to be able to get their water. So we designed this tool. It's supposed to help you to be able to, bend your water and access it. Still just to ensure wash your sanitation. Here is a mechanism of getting the water. Madam?
That's a rope pump.
A rope pump.
Behind there. You know, when we construct underground tanks, the challenge is getting water from there. So the EMAS tank has its own pump. It's called the EMAS pump. But the other tanks don't have pumps. So we either use electricity to pump water at the elevated tank, or you can do it manually. You can install a rope pump that you can use to pump and get water like the way they do at the borehole. The advantage is here at least you manage to control the water usage.
So as you rotate,
they are easy to construct, so easy to maintain. Though they have a rope that keeps on breaking, so we encourage it to be used at a small scale.
Okay. So just rotate. We shall demonstrate. As you rotate, you just.
So it's in the category of water
devices. Thank you.
That can aid access to water and sanitation for persons with disabilities. I hope between me and you know they are not disabled, but they are living with disabilities. So we are trying to ease their access in any way possible. You might have a permanent disability, a temporary disability. Whatever form of disability you have, at least you can easily. So if someone brings water for them, you try to aid them to do things independently. If you bring water near them, they can easily tap here, and assuming someone has hands anyway. I always tell people, if someone doesn't have hands, then you don't do hand washing when it comes to hand washing. So at least whatever form of disability, you can try to access some few things. As you will also see when you go to the side. These are different sanitation assistive devices. You know, you could be going home and you get an accident. You could be like you are pregnant or something, and then you get a strain or whatever, and your toilet becomes like so far yet it is so near you. You can easily make something that can aid you to access your toilet, and then other people who don't wish to use it can put it aside and do their normal business. So these are, like, you can call them emergency interventions to enhance access for persons with disabilities or persons with temporary challenges in mobility or movement.
So these are just the different forms, and then also all this, they're all similar actually. How do we improve on the sanitation in different areas? Say, for example, the others. If you get to a place like Karamanga, digging down 6 feet is quite difficult. And so you will be forced to dig a very short one. And then also probably the materials to construct are very hard to get. So you'll have a mobile facility that is light. So here we're basically demonstrating how you could use different materials which are easy to access, like maybe iron sheets. And then you construct a toilet that can be moved from one point to the other. And then also it has this plate that you can just assemble in any location. It can be good for people like in the refugees, camping. I'm just coming to this. These are pavers in different forms, but then the idea is we're trying to place the polythene, like also the plastics. We bind them into a molten state and then add. And then we mix it with maybe coal or sand or ash from maybe small chips from the charcoal. When we mix them together, and then we put it into a mold, the shape of that. Then it cools and makes ready the paper. There's two different forms.
We, in plastic management, or in plastics, we have what we call petty bottles. The petty bottles are the ones we are using for this. Then we have low density and the high density, HDPE and LDPE. So in the HDPE and the LDPE, we are using them to make these kind of tiles. You can make those tiles and just decorate your house, or use the cup holders and you make any shape you want. But we also make gas. We make gas from them, and we make fuel, petroleum, petrol and diesel. So far, we have taken the pavers, the tiles, and the gas and the petrol and diesel. We have taken them to lab for testing before we take them out to the community. Yeah. Ice cream. I know my fellow ladies love ice cream a lot. So you collect all these and make a lamp holder. Inside it's a 1.5 liter rosary bottle. So we are making lamp shades, and then you can still make a toothbrush organizer. You can make a flower vase. You can make a pencil case that is waterproof anyway. On Christmas, you may have to think outside the box and make more decorations. So there are so many things to think about. You can make key holders from the low density plastics. Then you can even make something for keeping your maido. Or jewelry box, yeah. So you make a lot of anything you think about, you can make from these plastics. And now these are bioenzymes, and bioenzymes are made from organic waste. Basically waste that is rich, citrus-based organic waste. So this we make bioenzymes to use. Two uses. One, it can be used to improve the hygiene of pit latrines. That is, you dilute 1 to 3. You get this, add 3 of water. Then you will be able to keep away the cockroaches and smell and the maggots in the toilet, but will also be regulating sludge build-up in the toilet. Secondly, you can use this as pesticide in your gardens. You dilute 1 to 10 and spray on your gardens. On your crops. Remember, this is just organic waste. Nothing external is added.
Conserve the environment. So we have alternative energy technologies. These we can use a different energy, which is sun for this matter, so that we do not use the charcoal or we cut trees for firewood. These are solar cookers. They use direct solar energy. These work as reflectors. It's like a vera on top, aluminum foil. Just helps it helps to concentrate more heat on this point. Then it takes it to the center, to the central point, which works as the cooking point. It's unfortunate we don't have the sun right now, but the energy here is always too much that we even avoid, and we tell people you can burn your eyes, so be careful. Yeah, so it can cook, it can cook anything as long as it does not need constant stirring, and because the sun can be too much. So put your water, put beans, put such, and move away, come check once in a while. Same as that, the only difference is the shape in the design. So the shape makes the sun the energy gets concentrated in one point. Down here is manufactured. Say factory made charcoal. So the name is briquettes.
So these are the briquettes.
These are the briquettes. So we are reducing on the tree cutting or charcoal burning. So manufacture these. Practically, you will see them behind the process, made from a number of waste products to come up with this. These were alternative energy technologies.
Now here, these bosses are here.
These are the that ones. So these are the tiger ones.
So we grow them here and then we can give it to you. You can put in your sanitation facility. They're all been grown here. We just feed them with any decomposable food like bananas, leaves, avocado, pineapple, anything that can be eaten by them. They feed on that and then they grow. Okay? All this Corona camp, we decided to look out for different technologies. We actually started doing this in 2017 before Corona to try to use pedals in order to wash the hands. So this was demonstrated in 2017, 2018. So in 2020, 2021, it became a big deal during Corona. So it's basically, these ones have different, you just come and make a dustbin at home and paint it a blue color or whatever color, and then you just collecting the dust. Okay? Instead of buying a separate we're making a briquette. A machine operated compactor that does, you see, when you get a briquette, for example, bamboo, or you can get husks, or banana leaves, or any other waste. So what happens is the components, this basically dry under the sun. After drying, you separate it in two. You can mix it in the binder, maybe kawatan, or crushed coffee husks or rice husks, any other binder that you would want. Then you carbonize it. Then when it's in the form of a liquid, you can compress it using the machine or manually. It's also possible to compress using manual. You just make a mold, okay? And that mold you put in the proportional amount of you carbonized material, and then you compress. Depending on the amount of water content in what? In your material, raw material. So here, behind you, we are continuing to expound on the aspect of utilizing what? Plastics in order to make other useful equipment.
Maybe have this way.
That,
Doing
this,
carbonization.
and this are all interconnected. This one. Okay. A device that we use to carbonize. Now here it is where we would melt our what? Our plastics. When we bring these plastics, we have a table there where we do put them all. First cluster them, okay? You get them like this, you cluster them. After clustering, we just combust, basically melting them. Just fire them.
After melting them, cannot get compacted.
Now when they're in a molten state, we do addition of additives. That's when we can add a proportionate amount of sand, soil, basically soil, or we can use maybe dust from you know when you use your charcoal, there's always that small chips that remain. You can also add it up, and then when it's still in a molten state, you pour it into a mold that is in the shape of. That will have sand in our stock, but then they're in this form of shape. So once you pour them here, you just let them dry. And when they dry up, they give us this shape. And these are flavors, you know. Yes, flavors. So we are just doing a bit of research on impact. How much weight can they? If you leave your cow on it, can it be formed by the morning? When it's raining for 6 months, what happens? You know? Those are the researches we are trying to do, and once it passes from Australia and other universities we utilize it, we can be able to push this out. Dry using natural conditions. Here we just do saturation of air basically, and then we achieve the aspect of dry. And this, in a proportionate time, not 24 hours or so, we should be able to get dry, transportable, ready to use briquette. How long does it take before it becomes ash, the whole content? Can it be transported to another place? Will it be broken into pieces by the time it reaches there? All those tests we did. And then we are able to zero down to this profile and these shapes and these sizes, and it has tested test of time for us. Of course, somebody brilliant can come up and rethink of it and make something better. So this is just a house where we try to allow them to have their own solution. Well, we have to adjust in the properties of materials that are being used here in order to avoid when I drop it down it breaks. When I break it deliberately, you see the impact. It breaks little but not much, but still this can do some work in cooking. You know? So that is the idea. So then of course this shape is easy to pack in boxes, and when they are packed, the boxes they can move as far as across the country. So now we're moving this other side. Some of the manuals we do get from some of these technologies. We try to get some bananas for ourselves, avocados for ourselves. So here this one is just elastic catchment ground like this. This used to be a standalone. In the event that you are in a place that you do not have proper infrastructure and you want to do water harvesting, even in your own garden. Rain comes, you want water to do irrigation, but somehow it's a dry place. So you construct. This thing is supposed to have an open roof. Up. That is supposed to channel water. So when it rains in your own garden, you have a section that is not in here. For some reason, maybe it's off. Maybe it is just unhealed or whatever reason. One does not use it. So you use it as a point where you used to collect your water. And then on a dry season or any other point during the production that you really need to put water into your garden. You just tap your water from here, maybe manually using the other technique, and push it where you want it to be. Maybe in another bed, preparing for your new garden. So here is Emma tank, as well as the other tank which we showed you. Yeah. Don't get that. Now, we draw water using the pump. This pump, as you push it down, it's a the bad thing, we do not have water. As you keep pushing this up, down, water comes. There's a way they made the pump. This pump. Just 2 layers. There's one layer that pushes down. It works like a pump handle. Yes. That is the operational mechanism. So as you put this, it keeps sucking the water through the inner. No, it's here. So you hold from this side, and then the water comes out from this side here. So as you keep pumping, it comes up. But unfortunately, we don't have water. So we don't have water down there. Most of us from water using rainwater, from our roof, and then we let it down up this. How do we get water? But you just put the rotation and the water is sucked. It has a plate like this. These are the ones which pass. There is another plate down whose diameter is this much, or slightly like this. So one keeps passing water to the next as they go down to scoop water. So as you rotate, this thing goes down to scoop water, and there will be a water column between this one and the next one. So that's how the water keeps coming. So there will be a water column between them, and that water cannot strip at the time. So as you rotate, that water is pushed up, and you can collect from here normally like in any device. Now here is another technology. This one we're trying to say yes. We are talking about solar. Everybody is talking about solar. We find solar streets. We find solar water pumping. We find solar in a village where we need to buy something, but we don't have electricity yet. Yeah. Can we have a saloon in our village? That's the good. Can we have a kitchen? Can we have all this equipment utilizing the same technology? Say that if someone wants to buy a unit, it can be scaled up or scaled down depending on how much, how big is the machine, how big is the building, how many salons you have to open at the same time. And yet you have one huge energy system. You just have problems running around. You can choose to put it on a standalone, real village, and then have this application all the place. I'm sorry, domestic water supply pumping. We have phone charging, water heating, freezers, grinding mills, UV water treatment, lighting generally. Also powering a sewing machine. You know, those sewing machines which are powered, and then a barber shop, and then we also have a dryers, solar dryers, and then also fish. What is this? And many other applications. So we bring all of them into one unit. Inside there, we had demonstrated a couple of equipment, but because it's still research, we succeeded in a couple of them, but then there was a discussion. And irrigation is up, the other side, there's a line of water, there's a tank there, then the pump, and the wire, take the room and the pump down there, so to get the water. So then when the resident came, we only had water and it was a bit of a challenge, eh? So then inside, have a look. Because we said we want light. Light is needed in the night and there's no sun. So we store our energy here, and irrigation can be needed even early in the morning or late in the night. So we said no, we should be able to get us water at that time. We also have grinding mills, but just basic. We just convert with an inverter the energy from the batteries from direct current to alternating current, and then we're able to connect our phone charging, the barber shop, the grinding mill, the fridge to cool the drinks, and then any other thing that uses alternating current. Then, yeah, I think that's it. These are 3 items. I was supposed to have 4. So, yes. Now that one is a water treatment, and then the automatic dispenser. What we're trying to say is, we have a borehole that we have motorized. We have rainwater tank, but the borehole is the best. We are trying to distribute water to the community. But then the issue of collecting money. In Uganda here, we have, we don't all get clean and sweet water. Some places have water which is salty, depending on where you're located. Maybe people from in the north, Shoga, Benson, close to the lakes, usually we get salty water. And then also some bright areas of the country. So what happens? There's a technology of ion removal. You just incorporate a device into your well that does the tapping of the ion. So water comes with the ion content. The chemical does the reaction, and its objective is basically to remove the ion content, and that whole process is done in this assembly. I don't know whether it has been quite some time. It's embedded. You no longer get the iron, you get purified water here. It might be a bit lengthy, but we're trying to sort an issue in the middle here. Okay? That's it for that. This one is finished. Now here, these are now the different technologies Madam was trying to emphasize the other side. Now the challenge here is, when you're dealing with fecal slides now, you may not be able to go at the back and see what you say, like ecological toilet, the other side. This one's just a beautiful one, trying to utilize the plastic in order to make, instead of going into a brick of 300 shillings or so, you just take the rubbish around, fill them with the normal soil you don't buy, and then just assemble them together with very small quantities of salt, and then cement and some water. Okay? And you have a beautiful structure. Even the roof still uses a bit more of the sun and a bit of the concrete, just sun, and then
This urine for bio.
do magic. This is a toilet, but I just forget the name. But it's as you see, it doesn't go down. It goes at the back here. Now from here, it can easily go. It's being connected.
As you enter here and do the normal business. So, poop goes there. Then this hole is for susu. It's collected, there's a pipe which runs outside there. You've seen it's collected, yes. So that urine